Sometimes life breaks you in ways you never expected, not through loss or betrayal from strangers, but through the people you love most. That's where my story begins. I've loved my wife from the moment I met her. We've been together for 7 years, married for 5. If you'd asked me not long ago, I would have sworn she was the person I'd grow old with. We have 3 kids, ages 5, 3, and our youngest, just 10 months old. The 2 older ones are healthy, bright, and endlessly full of energy. But our baby boy, his life has been different from the start. He was born with a neurological condition that causes severe seizures. Doctors told us he might face lifelong challenges, that some days will be manageable, others terrifying, and that independence might never be in his future. That kind of news can shatter anyone. But what's breaking me now isn't his condition itself. It's the haunting thought that my wife might be the reason behind it. When I met her, I knew she had a wild past. Late nights, parties, too much drinking, some cocaine use. But by the time we got serious, that chapter seemed closed. She was focused, calm, and ready to build a life. For years, she was the best partner and mother I could have imagined. When we found out about our 3rd child, I was happy but realistic. Life was already busy and this would be hard. Still, we'd done it twice before. We could do it again. But this pregnancy felt different. She was more tired, more anxious, constantly overwhelmed. I tried to help however I could. Cooked dinners, took the kids out, tried to give her space to rest. I thought we were managing. Then one evening, I came home and found her on the patio sipping wine. She didn't even hide it. I stayed calm, reminded her drinking during pregnancy was dangerous. She looked at me with exhaustion I'd never seen before and admitted she'd been drinking a little to cope, just a few glasses a week. She promised to stop, and I believed her. When our son was born, he was perfect, until the seizures started hours later. Those moments changed everything. We clung to hope while doctors ran tests, and when the diagnosis came, we tried to accept it. Maybe it was just cruel luck, we told ourselves. Maybe life had decided to test us. Months passed in survival mode. Hospital visits, medications, sleepless nights, fear. We were both breaking under the weight, but I thought we were still united. Until the day I found that small plastic bag. It was pure accident. I was searching her jewelry box for something small to open my SIM tray, and there it was. A tiny bag of white powder. My stomach dropped. When I confronted her, she got angry, accused me of snooping. But finally, she confessed. Not just to having it, but to using cocaine while pregnant. At first, I couldn't even process the words. She said she was desperate, exhausted, and just wanted to feel normal again. I could see the pain in her eyes, but also the selfishness in her choice. She hadn't trusted me enough to ask for help, and instead, she risked our son's life. That night broke something in me. Part of me wanted to hold her, to tell her I understood the pressure, the exhaustion. But the other part, the husband, the father, was furious. Furious that she lied. Furious that she gambled with our child's health. Furious that now I'll never know whether his condition is fate or her fault. Since that day, I can't stop thinking about it. The wine glass, the powder, the lies. Every seizure I witness feels like a silent accusation. I don't know how to look at her the same way. I don't know if forgiveness is even possible. I haven't told anyone, not our parents, not friends. I'm drowning in this alone. I keep thinking about divorce, even though I hate the word. I love my wife. I love the family we built. But I hate what she's done. I hate the secret that's poisoning everything. Part of me wants to stay and rebuild. Another part wants to run before resentment consumes me. I don't know which path leads to peace. I only know this. Whatever I decide, it has to be for the kids. They deserve a life not defined by lies or guilt. Maybe one day forgiveness will come. Maybe not. But for now, I'm just a man standing in the wreckage of trust, trying to figure out how to move forward without losing what little is left of myself. If you've ever thought you were too high, trust me, you probably weren't as high as I was that night. It started out like any other chill Friday. Music, snacks, and my favorite way to unwind after a brutal week, edibles. I'm 23, living at home while juggling work and college. My family's cool with cannabis as long as I don't smoke inside. I don't drink, I don't party, and big crowds spike my anxiety. Weed helps me slow down, breathe, and actually exist. That Friday, I wanted nothing but peace. After clocking out, I ordered from my favorite dispensary, Perks of Living in a Legal State. When I picked up my usual stash, they had a promo. Buy one, get a pack of sour apple gummies for a penny. Each gummy had 10 million THC, totally manageable. Normally, 40-50 milliliters hits my sweet spot, so I ate 5 without hesitation. They tasted great, sweet, tart, no weed flavor at all. I remember thinking, these could get someone in serious trouble. Then I settled in, ready for a mellow night. 20 minutes later, I felt that cozy warmth. Perfect. But then the high just kept climbing. My pulse quickened, my thoughts scattered. Laughter faded into confusion. I hung up on a friend mid-conversation because even talking felt overwhelming. My heart pounded, my chest tightened. The classic "I'm too high" panic kicked in hard. I splashed water on my face, opened a window, even lay flat on the floor, and nothing helped. My brain was a hurricane. Logic said, "You're fine." My body screamed, "You're dying." I started thinking maybe I needed help, but involving my family? No way, I'd never live that down. Then came the dumb idea. Call 911, but not from home. I didn't want flashing lights in front of my house. So, in my baked brilliance, I actually tried to drive somewhere else to call for help. Thankfully, I realized how bad that idea was before starting the car. Plan B, Uber. I ordered one, but when it arrived, panic hit again. The thought of sitting in a stranger's car while that high? Terrifying. I canceled the ride while the driver stared at me from the driveway. Smooth. So I did the only thing left. I called 911 standing in my yard. I babbled something about being too high. The dispatcher told me to stay put. Next thing I knew, I was lying in the grass, waiting for help like some tragic lawn ornament. Then the ambulance showed up. Sirens blaring, lights flashing bright enough to wake the neighborhood. My family came outside just in time to see me surrounded by EMTs. I've never wanted to vanish so badly in my life. The paramedics were chill, though. They checked me out, hooked me to an IV, and confirmed what I already knew. I wasn't dying. I was just really high. One even joked, "You probably could have just slept this off." Yeah, no kidding. But rational thought doesn't survive a THC overdose. They left me with my parents, who were equal parts worried and mortified. I spent the rest of the night sweating, shaking, and eventually throwing up before passing out for 12 hours. When I woke up, I was foggy but fine, until I had to face the parental lecture. You know the type. We're not angry, just disappointed. They talked about embarrassment, the neighbors, and how maybe I should rethink my habits. And honestly, they were right. I got cocky, forgot my limits, and learned the hard way. Now I laugh about it. Kind of. But that night taught me something valuable. No matter how well you think you know your tolerance, respect the weed. Because the moment you don't, it will humble you, right in front of your entire neighborhood.